favorite farmers. This is one of my favorite flavors as well. These are medium salty, but it's a nice deep cup, and it's got a nice finish to it. When they're farming them, sometimes they tumble them and they break off the outer shell, and that makes the cup grow deeper. So if an oyster is left by itself, it just grows long and it grows wild. But the more they tumble it and the more they chip away the edges, the rounder it gets, and then you get a better cup to it too. It's a better shape. It's a little more expensive oyster. It's more like a select instead of just a choice oyster. There's different levels of oysters. Those wild ones are not quite as expensive. But these are groomed much more. These guys go out a couple times a week and service their oysters, you know, or at least they're handled by humans in their lifetime 6 or 8 times. So it's really a high labor job. I really don't know how they make any money out of it all. It's a relatively easy oyster to open. There's much more difficult oysters to open, and that's generally what they pick for competitions, is the really hard one. The difference between East Coast and West Coast, 2 different seeds. They're 2 different seeds with 2 completely different flavors. Our East Coast tend to be the briny, salty, real oceany flavors. The West Coast tend to have a little aftertaste. Their shells look different, they're a little curly. We call those scalloped. And their flavors are cucumber or watermelon or cantaloupe. Some of them tend to be a little metallic in flavor. They're completely different animals. Still in the oyster world, but different flavors. So no matter where you are in the country, you can get all kinds of flavors. I work for Max's Oyster Bar in West Hartford Center in Connecticut. We buy a lot of our oysters from them. It's been 5 years since we've been doing business. Very generous, very nice company, very educated. They come down a couple, 3 times a year and in-service our staff with slideshows and literature. So we're always at we always have the latest information on the oyster world. I love them. It's a great company.